See, I don't think a lot of us think about wheel frame combos the way you do. Like wheels have always been an afterthought for me for time trial, and maybe it's a measure of how broke I was. But I always managed to scrape together a frame, and then we might have one set of wheels between like three of us, and we'd swap them around depending on who was time trialing. Talk to me about matching the right frame with the right wheel. How important is that?
Yeah, it is quite important. And then trying to get the interaction of like the tire. If you look at like all the big brands now, they're all trying to innovate like wheel systems, or they'll work with like a specific wheel brand to optimize like the bike. But there's a lot more around like the interaction of like, like the tire around like the rim itself. So I think that's where innovation will go more and more. Like for like a lot of brands, I think if you want to optimize it, that's where you've got to go. And I think we'll see like brands start optimizing like on tires. Like there's certain companies that are already doing that, but I'd say that they're probably they're not matching like Conti or like Victoria on like rolling resistance. But I think over the next few years, I think that's the biggest area that we can make transformations on. Like on bikes themselves, really.
So there's not a objectively fastest tire. It's the fastest tire for those wheels.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that everybody Googles, like rolling resistance facts, don't they? That's the first thing that they go for. But it's more about matching them, like the rim shape with the tire to the rim. If you get those interactions correctly, and sometimes it could be that you might run one brand of tire on the front and you could run like a different brand on the rear, really. But I don't know about you. I kind of like if I could have a tan wall and a black one on the back. See what I mean? That would do my OCD in.
Well, okay, so let's stick with your bike. So just so people have an idea of what you think is the fastest combo. So you're running the Trinity from Giants. What wheels and tire combo are you running?
Yeah, so like at the minute, we've moved over to like using Cadex wheels. So they've got like their new 4-spoke and their disc wheel, and again they've interacted it around like the bike. Like I don't know if you remember like 4-spokes or a 3-spoke like years ago. You take one of those out, and you'd be like hanging on for grim death. But the new rim shapes like are so wide now. Like around like 25 to 27 millimeters, like the actual rim. But internally, they're quite wide. Same with the rear wheel. Like like this, you want to be on like 26 mil tires now. Really, that's the optimal shape for them. So I've messed around with tires quite a bit, and I'm still doing it at the minute. Really, like I've always loved the Veloflexes, but like rolling resistance, I just struggle to beat there. They're a bit more fragile, but remember your old tubs, they just still got that zinging, like when you go along the road. The Conti TT, again, I find that's like a really good rim. A really good tire. It kind of interacts with that rim shape like quite well. And then Victoria have just launched their new Victoria Corsa Speed Pro, which I'm testing that out at the minute. It seems like a really nice tire, really. I think the hardest part that we have got at the minute, we're just in this weird place of like going to hookless. But we've got the technology in the rims, but the tires are, it's a big debate at the minute. The tire technology is evolving, but it needs a bit more, I guess.
Is everything tubeless? All the fastest stuff tubeless now?
Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I would never go to. Because running like latex tubes, like everyone's come away from tubs now, haven't they? Really, there's a few out there. I think in the next few years, it'd be interesting to see if we can even get tubs. But yeah, I run everything tubeless. I love it. Like you can just run at a lot lower pressure, can't you? Like you can feel it. It's just that interaction. Like I can really, you get a sensation of like how the bike's handling. I think like if you're a really good bike handler, like the biggest thing that I've noticed is like like when you go into like the corners, it's just like how you carry the speed through like the corner, because you can run at a lower pressure. It gives you confidence a little bit.
I still have some tubeless aging up in the attic if you need them.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm probably the same, man. Like, you kind of hold on to them, don't you? You're like, oh, maybe they'll come back in one day.
They're like up there like wine.
Yeah, I did like tubs. I used to, there was an art of like sticking a tub on. I used to find it quite therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Man, maybe we're the same. Like, yeah, I used to find like sticking on tubs like quite, therapeutic in a weird way.
Yeah, I had my own process. I used to go with 3 layers. I'd put a layer on the rim, I'd put a layer on the tire, let them dry, and then I'd come back along with a wet layer. And it was, there was something romantic. Maybe it was the fumes from the glue that made it feel so romantic.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's a good kick. Yeah, that was always the art, wasn't it? And, but yeah, it's a dying art now.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please click up here. There's another video I know that you're absolutely going to love. And click over here and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our amazing upcoming guests.